Come, come, worshiper, wanderer, lover of leaving. It doesn't matter. Ours is not a caravan of despair. Even if you've broken your vow 1,000 times, come, come, yet again, come. Friends, welcome. Rumi's caravan has been journeying through the centuries, countless miles, to finally arrive here in Sebastopol one more time, the 9th year in a row. So welcome. So we're about to unpack the precious treasures that the caravan has been carrying all these years. So sit back and receive these gifts. And the only thing we ask is hold the applause. Let the energy build. Let it settle into your body and build deeply. We'll do about a 50-minute set, and then we'll take a break and have some of the wonderful Persian delights that Seema Bhakti, who just offered that beautiful prayer, has prepared for us. So, enjoy.
Dan? We work in the oral tradition, and I really didn't know what I was going to do until I heard the prayer. Call and response. Bismillah. Bismillah. Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah. La ilaha. La ilaha. Illallah. Bismillah. Alhamdulillah. La ilaha illallah. You're very good. I'll sing, you'll sing. Bismillah. Bismillah. Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah. La ilaha illallah. La ilaha illallah. Bismillah. Bismillah. Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah. La ilaha illallah. La ilaha illallah. Bismillah. Alhamdulillah. La ilaha illallah. Bismillah. Alhamdulillah. La ilaha illallah. You can go a fifth above it. Bismillah. Alhamdulillah. La ilaha illallah. Bigger. Bismillah. Alhamdulillah. La ilaha illallah. Bigger. Bismillah. Alhamdulillah. La ilaha illallah. Bismillah. Alhamdulillah. La ilaha illallah. Last time. Bismillah. Alhamdulillah. La ilaha illallah. what you've just sung is we begin in the name of Allah. All praise to Allah. And La ilaha illallah is there is no God but God.
I have 5 things to say to the beloved. First, when I was apart from you, this world did not exist, nor any other. Second, whatever I was wanting was always you. Whatever I was wanting was always you. Third, why did I learn to count to 3? Fourth, my cornfield is burning. 5 stands for wisdom and confusion. Is weeping speech? What shall I do with all this love? What shall I do with all this love? So she speaks, and everyone around her begins to cry with her, laughing crazily, moaning at the spreading union of lover and beloved. This is true religion. This is true religion. All others are torn away bandages beside it. This is slavery and mastery, dancing together. This is slavery and mastery, dancing together. I know these dancers. I know these dancers. Day and night, I sing their songs in this phenomenal cage. Day and night, we sing their songs in these phenomenal cages. My soul, don't try to answer yet. Find a friend and hide. Find a friend and hide. But what can be hidden? Love is always lifting its head out from under the covers. Here I am.
Mary Oliver. I don't want to live a small life. Open your eyes. Open your hands. I've just come from the berry fields, the sun kissing me all the way with its golden mouth. Open your hands. And the wind-winged clouds followed along behind, thinking I might perhaps feed them. But no, I carry these heart shapes only to you. Look how many, how small, but so sweet. And maybe the last gift I bring to anyone in this world of hope and risk. So do look at me. Open your life. Open your hands.
It's possible that the hand that sows the seeds of stars started the ancient music going again, like a note from a great harp. Antonio Machado says, "And the frail wave came to our lips as one or two honest words."
Another Spaniard, Federico Garcia Lorca. My heart of silk is filled with lights, with lost bells, with lilies and bees. I will go very far, farther than the mountains, farther than the oceans, farther than the stars, to ask the Creator to give back to me the soul I had as a child, to give back to me the soul I had as a child, matured by fairy tales with its hat of feathers and its wooden drum.
Rumi says, "The drunkards are rolling in slowly. The drinkers of wine are approaching. The lovers come singing from the garden, the ones with shining eyes. The I don't want to lives are leaving. The I want to lives are arriving, with gold sewn into their clothes, sewn in for those who have none. The ones with bones showing, who have been grazing in the old fields of love, are turning up fat and frisky. The souls of great teachers are arriving, looking to the earthbound like rays of pure sunlight. How glorious is that garden in which apples and pears, both for the sake of the two Marys, are arriving even in winter. Those apples grow from the gift and will go back to the gift. Maybe they are coming from the garden to the garden.
The flute weeps to the pacing drum. The drunken camel struggles to his knees and tugs at the rope of reason. The bird flutters in the heart's cage, pushing its head out to this side and that. The falcon hears the royal drum and is circling, seeking the wrist of the king. A flood fills the ancient riverbed, and once again, the riverbed is green. The musk deer smells the lion, and her haunches are trembling. The madmen have seen the moon in the window and are running to the roof with ladders. Somewhere tonight, a dervish cries, "It was my soul in the wine. It was my soul."
Denis Levertov says, don't say there is no water to solace the dryness at our hearts. I have seen the fountain springing out of the rock cliff and you drinking there. And I too, before your eyes, have found footholds and climbed to drink the cool water. The woman of that place, shading her eyes, frowned as she looked, but not to grudge the water, only because she was watching to see we drank our fill and were refreshed. So don't say there is no water. That fountain is there among its scalloped green and gray stones. It is still there. It is always there, with its quiet song and its strange power to spring in us, up and out of the rock.
John F. Kennedy says, "Ask not what your country can do for you. Ask what you can do for your country." Martin Luther King says, "I have a dream. I dream that my children will be judged by the content of their character, not by the color of their skin." Barack Hussein Obama says, This is our time. This is our defining moment. This is the time to know we are the ones we have been waiting for. This is our time to answer the question, why is that child crying?
There is a community of the Spirit. This is a community of the Spirit. Join it and walk in the noisy streets and be the noise. Drink all your passion and be a disgrace. Close both eyes to see with the other eye. Open your hands if you want to be held. Consider what you've been doing. Why do you stay with such a mean-spirited and dangerous partner? For the security of having food, admit it. Here's a better arrangement. Give up this life and get 100 new ones. Sit down in this circle. Quit acting like a wolf and feel the shepherd's love filling you. At night, your beloved wanders. Don't take painkillers. Tonight, no consolations. And don't eat. Close your mouth against food. You moan, he left me, she left me. 20 more will come. Be empty of worrying. Think of who created thought. Why do you stay in prison when the door is so wide open? Why do you stay in prison when the door is so wide open? Move outside your tangle of fear thinking. Live in silence. Flow down and down and always widening rings of being.
Rumi says, these spiritual window shoppers, these spiritual window shoppers who idly ask, how much is that? Just looking. They handle 100 items and put them down. They're shadows with no capital, when what is spent is love and 2 eyes wet with weeping. But these enter a shop, a church, a synagogue, a mosque, a temple, an ashram, and their entire lives pass suddenly in that moment. Where did you go? Well, nowhere. Well, what did you have to eat? Nothing much. Rumi says, if you don't know what you want, buy something. Just to be part of the exchanging flow. Start a large, foolish project like Noah. It makes no difference what people think of you.
This is a poet named Jean Burden. I don't believe in a God who bothers himself in the trivia of this world. But Lord, could you find me this word? I know it as well as my name, but it's running back into darkness as I lurch after it. It stands for that small mammal that ate raspberry parfait at the back door at Big Sur. The huge one that climbed through Eric's window and clawed at his cats. The old one who made a shamble of his kitchen. I say possum, skunk, porcupine, knowing it's not any of these. The word, Lord. You're supposed to be good with words. Remember the word? It's midnight. And I am longing for the elusive thing. It skitters past, avoiding my eyes. I scurry from attic to cellar in my mind. It's not there. I say, weasel, squirrel, badger, rat. I'm not asking to see the dark side of the moon, God. Only one word. Could you give it to me with your light? I roll to one side. The beast turns its black triangle of a face full on me. Raccoon.
Rumi says, it's the old rule that drunks have to argue and get into fights. The lover's just as bad. He falls down into a hole, but down in that hole he finds something shining, worth more than any amount of money or power. Last night, the moon came dropping its clothes in the street. I took it as a sign to start singing. Up into the bowl of the sky. The bowl breaks. Now everything is falling everywhere. There's nothing else to do. Here's the new rule. Break the wine glass. Fall toward the glass blower's breath.
The earth remembered me. She took me back so tenderly. I thought she remembered me. She took me back so tenderly, folding her dark skirts, her pockets full of lichens and seeds. I slept as never before, a stone on the riverbed, nothing between me and the white fire of the stars, but my thoughts. And they floated, light as moths, among the branches of the perfect trees. All night, I heard the breathing of the small kingdoms, the birds and the insects who do their work in the darkness. All night, I rose and fell as if in water, grappling with some luminous doom. By morning, I had disappeared. By morning, I had disappeared at least a dozen times into something greater. Mary Oliver.
One morning, I went to a place beyond dawn. A source of sweetness that flows and is never less. I have been shown a beauty which is beyond imagining. We have baskets of fresh bread upon our heads, yet we go door to door asking for crusts. Knock on the inner door, no other. Sloshing knee-deep in fresh river water, we keep asking for other people's water bags. We're like pearls in the shell on the bottom of the ocean saying, "Where's the water?" These mental questionings form the barrier. These mental questionings form the barrier. Beg for love expansion. Beg for love expansion. Meditate only on that.
This is by Adya Shanti. He says, if you prefer smoke to flame, then just get up now and leave. I mean it, just get up now and leave. For I do not intend to perfume your mind's clothing with more sooty knowledge. No, I have something else in mind. Today, I stand with a flame in my left hand and a sword in my right. There will be no damage control today. For God is in a mood to plunder your riches and fling you nakedly into such breathtaking poverty that all that will be left of you will be a tendency to shine. So don't just sit around this flame choking on your mind. This is no campfire song to mindlessly mantra yourself to sleep with. Jump now! Jump now into the space between thoughts and exit this dream before I burn the damn place down.
Gerard Manley Hopkins. As kingfishers catch fire, dragonflies draw flame. As tumbled over rim in roundy wells stones ring, like each tucked string tells, each hung bell's bow swung gives tongue that flings out broad its name. Each mortal thing does one thing and the same. Deals out that being, indoors each one dwells. Selves goes itself, myself it speaks in spells, crying, what I do is me, for that I came.
This is a poem by Corleen van Sleeser? I really think she lives in Sonoma somewhere. Sebastopol. How do you pronounce your last name? How do you pronounce your last name? The poem. It's called The Street Cleaner. She had a purpose, cleaning the streets. Sometimes it was dirt, sometimes it was trash, sometimes it was rose petals from the funeral marches strewn on the road by insane mothers and fathers who lost their sons and daughters, infants and grandchildren to war. She listened to the voices which arose from the dead, bodies never buried. With her broom in hand, she dutifully swept little circles of rose petals in the quiet places to honor them. A touch of beauty, she thought, in this time of darkness. Then she moved on, her palm-frowned broom in hand, cleaning.
Dina Metzger. There are those who are trying to set fire to the world. We are in danger. There is time only to work slowly. There is no time not to love.
Rumi says, a night full of talking that hurts. A night full of talking that hurts. My worst deep-held secret. Everything has to do with loving and not loving. Rumi says this night will pass, then we have work to do.
Rumi says, I've broken through to longing now, filled with a grief I have felt before, but never like this. The center leads to love. Soul opens creation's core. Hold on to your particular pain. Hold on to your particular pain. That too can lead to God.
This is called The Seal by Robin Flowers. little bay ringed round with broken cliffs gathers the tide-born wreck. And here the islanders come day by day for weed that shall enrich their barren soil. And there, because the cliff path gaped, cloven by the winter's wrecking storms, they had gathered to remake the shattered way. We idled as they labored, with listless, laughing talk of that and this, when suddenly a seal, rising and falling on the changing tide, lifted up a dripping face and looked at us. It was a mournful face, more sad than the gray sadness of a moonlit wave. We spoke, and in a moment it was gone, and an unpeopled sea washed up and died in foam upon the shore. Said one, "Aye, he's lonely after his brother still." And so we heard the story, a mournful memory of the island, cherished by the old dreaming people, and told round the dim fire on a winter's eve. One twilight of late spring, the men had killed a seal out at the beaches and brought it to a sea cave for the skinning. And as they worked red-handed, a voice out of the sea called, "Brother," once, and "Brother," again. And then silence, only a wind that sighed over the unquiet sea. And so, standing there in the surf, we saw, they saw, as now, a seal rising and falling on the slow swinging sea. They lifted up their red hands, and it was gone, silently slipping into a silent sea.
It's just about time for us to take a break. We're going to have one more round of poems before we do. And first I want to let you all know, maybe you already know, but all the proceeds from this event will be going to the Series Project, which is a local group that started here in Sebastopol that trains young people to cook and prepare meals, free organic meals, to families dealing with catastrophic illness. It's one of the most beautiful and generous programs that's ever been part of our community. So there is more information in the lobby about the Series Project, and I encourage you to learn more about it and see how you might participate with them. I want to thank thank my hands, first of all, for still working. I want to thank Andy's Produce Market and Whole Foods of Sebastopol, Trader Joe's in Santa Rosa, Sal's Produce Market in Rohnert Park, Seema Bhakti of the Rugs of Persia, Connie Behrens, who designed our beautiful flyers, and and this wonderful organizing team that I've been so blessed to work with, Nan Fuchs, Jeffrey Edelheit, Catherine Sharp, Ken Roberts, and Seema Bhakti. And what we're going to take about a 40-minute break, and then we'll come back and do a very short auction which will raise some funds for the Sebastopol Skate Garden. Just 3 items, and Jeffrey Edelheit will be conducting that. I'm going to ask the musicians to begin a procession to lead us out. The musicians will come first, and then the presenters, and then I'd like everybody to follow, beginning with the front rows, back into the dining hall where Seema and the Series Project have prepared a fabulous feast of Persian delights for us. So we'll do one more round of poems from each person, and then we'll take a break. Oh, I'm sorry. I want to introduce, first of all, the musicians led by Kim Atkinson. And Derek on oud, Dan on hammer dulcimer, and Cindy on violin. And our presenters are Victoria Lee, Shepard Bliss, Barry Spector, Maya Spector, and Doug Von Koss.
Just the violin, please, darling. Kabir says, this body is his dulcimer. He draws the strings tight and causes the music in the inner universe. If the strings break and the bridge falls, then this dulcimer of dust returns to dust. Kabir says, the Holy One is the only one who can draw music from it.
This is a Yeats. We have to have a little Yeats. Had I the heavens embroidered cloths and wrought with golden and silver light, the blue and the dim and the dark cloths of night and light and the half-light, I would spread them under your feet. But I, being poor, have only my dreams. So I have spread my dreams under your feet. Tread softly, for you tread on my dreams.
Tukaram says, what part of heaven did she come from? That angel talked like a sailor. And she was dressed enchantingly scant. I can't even repeat the things she said or picture once more the shape of her breasts. But I can tell you one thing. My fear of dying has vanished.
Well, here's another one from William Butler Yeats. I went out into the hazelwood because a fire was in my head and cut and peeled a hazel wand and hooked a berry to a thread. And when white moths were on the wing and moth-like stars were flickering out, I dropped the berry in a stream and caught a little silver trout. When I had laid it on the floor, I bent to blow the fire aflame. But something rustled on the floor and someone called me by my name. It had become a glimmering girl with apple blossoms in her hair, who called me by my name and vanished in the brightening air. Though I am old with wandering through hollow lands and hilly lands, I will find where she has gone and kiss her lips and take her hands and walk among long dappled grass and pluck till time and times are done the silver apples of the moon, the golden apples of the sun.
Si cada día cae dentro de cada noche, hay un pozo donde la claridad esté encerrada. Hay que sentarse a la orilla del pozo de la sombra y pescar luz caída con paciencia. Pablo Neruda. If each day falls within each night, there is a pool of light where clarity is revealed. Sitting by the edge of the well of the shadow, one can fish for fallen light with patience.
Inside, you are sweet beyond telling. There is a sun in everyone. I become a mirror that cannot close its eyes to your longing. My eyes wet with yours in the early light. My mind every moment giving birth. Always conceiving, always in the 9th month. And then an empty sky spread out in praise and homage. And Hafiz says, last night I caught the happy virus while dancing beneath the stars. It's remarkably contagious. So kiss me